Hey guys, this is RyGuyGaming here today, and today I am back with another episode of Spyro 2. And so today we are going to do another level called Idle Springs, but first we are going to learn how to swim, because
would you like to learn to swim
you
underwater?
can't beat the level 100% without learning how to swim underwater.
Great.
And so we're going to pay money bags to teach us how to swim, because apparently it costs money for swim lessons, and a bear teaches a dragon how to swim, so I don't know how that, but he just tells you what button prompts to push. So it's definitely interesting to say the least. So yeah, I'm just gonna zoom around here and get all the gems under here, but this actually unlocks the castle. Something that I think is kind of silly when you think about the practicality of this is that to get into the castle you have to be able to swim. So what happens if you're like an animal that can't swim? Because it seems like everything is like an anthropomorphized animal, but in this, like, I don't know, I just think it's funny that you have to be able to swim to get into the castle. Because if you look at from the outside, there ain't no front door. So it's a little interesting, but I don't think you're meant to think about it that much. I'm not going to enter the level yet. There's actually an orb you can get if you come back to the starting area. If you explored here, you'll remember there's this pool with all the gems at the bottom that you can now swim around in. So you gotta bust through those, and I'm going to go down here and swim through this tunnel, which takes you out on the other side. I hope I got all the gems under the water there. If not, I'm sure we'll get them eventually. But there's the orb. It's just sitting there. There's orbs in every home world just sitting there waiting for you to get. But I also would like to go back to show off a glitch that a lot of the speedrunners use. I just think speedrunners for this game, they're so cool. This one is actually really easy. Like, it doesn't take any kind of skill. So you just swim at it right here going forward, and then you just push X like you're trying to go underwater. Or maybe it's over here. Yeah, it's right here. And you just keep trying to go underwater, and eventually, if I can do it right, you'll start swimming in the air. And this is a very common glitch in the Spyro games, which basically makes you be able to no-clip through everything. And so you'll be able to like swim around. If you swim up forever, it takes like 5 minutes to swim up as high as you. I'm not going to show you the next levels yet, but if you swim up forever, there's actually another version of this map in the air without any of the portals or any collision boxes or anything. It's really interesting. But to stop swimming in the air, you just pass through a water surface or go on water, and it will make you stop swimming in the air, and you will swim normally, so that's good. But now we are going to go do the Idle Springs level because I've spent too much time here. So let me do a quick save state and I'll jump into the level. So this level is supposed to be like a whole... I actually don't know where they build idols like this, but basically these guys are idol worshippers, and they're building them, and all of a sudden they come to life. So this guy gets a bright idea that doesn't quite pan out for him, sadly. So yeah, you have to help them stop the rampaging idols. This is why you need to swim, because if you can't get these gems, and there's actually an orb you can't get that I will show you in just a minute. But I think we're going to play through the level before we go through and do the whole orb thing, so I will do the orb things in a minute. The orb challenge is up there, but like I said, we'll do that later. Right now, I just want to make it through the level, so that way, I don't know, maybe there's some people that just want to like see the overallness of the levels and don't want to get into the nitty gritty, so that way they can just watch, excuse me, I sneeze, that way they can just watch me play through the level and not have to sit through all the 100%ing, because I am going to be playing this game to 100%. Sorry, I ditched my eye. And so the way to progress through this level is you have to kill the idols, and then these guys will break the locks on the doors and like help you progress. And so yeah. This is probably my second most memorable level, but again, well, I said last time that Colossus was the most memorable, but I think Glimmer is easily the most memorable level because it's the first level. But this one is the third most memorable then, for me at least, because like I said, I've played the first homeworld like so many times. It's not even fun. So these guys, like I said last episode, they have metal shields, so you have to charge them. You can't flame them because it will just heat up their metal shield. I think it's interesting they put Zoe here to tell you that, because that's what she just told me, like, you have to charge the metal shields. I kind of like how they put her there to tell you about it after you actually encounter them, so that way you get a chance to figure it out for yourself. So if you figure it out for yourself, you're like, oh, I'm a genius, and that way it's not just like handed to you. You'll notice that that happens quite a bit in Spyro, and I really appreciate it that they don't just come right out and say, oh, the enemy up ahead has a shield, but they actually give you a chance to figure it out for yourself. And then if you, let's say you're like, I can't beat this guy, so you just run past him, and then they still give you the helping hand that a kid would need to figure it out. And so I really I think that's good game design, especially when designing a children's game. It just makes it more playable for adults too, because I even still enjoy games like this. So let's get all these gems.
Aim the camera left or right.
And she tells you how to control the camera, but it's basically like any game of this type. You just use the shoulder buttons, which is actually pretty nice, or if you hold down both of them at the same time, it will center behind you. So now this is actually the end of this level, so we will talk to this guy, and he'll say thank you, and then he will give us the talisman, which is, of course, a jade idol. And then the portal opens up and we can go. But I am not done yet. I still have a couple orb challenges to do, or mini games, or whatever you want to call them. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now this one up down there, I'll jump down there as soon as I get all these. But this next one that I'm going to do is pretty tricky if you don't have a controller. Like if you're playing this on an emulator on the computer, I highly recommend you have a controller, because you can get like the finer in between, like 45 degree or whatever. Yeah, 45 degree angle movement, which helps. You can do this with a keyboard, like my brother-in-law has done it with a keyboard plenty of times, and like it's not that hard. But for a newbie, if you're having trouble, just grab a controller, like a wired Xbox controller or a wired PlayStation controllers connected with USB. I don't know, but just grab some kind kind of controller, and it will help a lot. But let's go do it, and I'll shut up about it and actually do it. I'm just making sure I got all the gems over here, which I think I did. So now we're gonna fly back over here. Ooh, that was a tight jump. So down here, you can see this guy. He just kind of dances there, and he has this girl chained up. And so you have to use this supercharge to get the dancing hula girls off of these idols, and it goes really fast. And if you don't do it in one go, they'll get back up onto the idols. And so that's why I made it look pretty easy, but if it's your first time or if you aren't that good at video games, then it might be a little more challenging for you. So they blow up the idol and then her hands magically get freed. I don't know how that works, but whatever. So now I'm just gonna grab all the gems down here before I move on to the second and I think final gem. I think this level, or not gem, orb. I think this level only has 2 orbs. And you might be thinking like, what the heck is the point of the orbs? Because like usually there's like some kind of story reason behind the second better collectible, and there is. We just don't get to know about it until near to the end of the game. Because I think what the developers intended to do to increase longevity of their game was you would play through the game once normally, maybe picking up some gems, maybe getting some orbs, but you would just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I fell. But you would just kind of be like, oh, this is cool, I'm picking stuff up. And then at the near the end of the game, you would be like, oh, I actually need orbs to beat the game. I need orbs to get 100% in the game. And the orbs have a story reason, so I better go back and get all the ones that were too hard or I was too lazy to get my first time through. Especially if you were a kid and didn't understand how a collectathon works. Oh wait, I need to go this way, not this way. So yeah, if you can figure out how to do like charge jumping like I am, it makes the movement a lot quicker, because you don't have to glide as much. Most gaps you can jump over. I need to land over there. Oh, I'll easily make it. You can actually, if you don't make it, you can actually do a super jump out of the water and land on it like that. But I landed on it with the glide, so it's all good. So let me just grab these gems under here, and then we'll go do the other orb minigame. So, where is it? It's over here. Up here. And we'll grab all these guys. And I'm not sure where the other gems are. Oh, yes, I know where they are. But anyway, so this guy, he has a box next to him which has an orb in it, but the only way you can get it out is to solve his puzzles. This one is, of course, the light up all the boxes puzzle. It's actually pretty simple if you know how to do it. If not, it can take a while, but if you just jump on all the corners, it will all light up. It takes a little longer if you don't know that trick, but it's not impossible. Like, really, there's only 8 blocks you can jump on, so it's not that hard at all. So just keep jumping on stuff, you'll figure it out. You'll probably even get it randomly without even trying. But now we're gonna do the second puzzle where you have to feed this idol, but you can only feed him the red fish because, or sorry, the not red fish, because if you feed him the blue fish, he will spit. Oh my gosh, if you feed him the red fish, he will spit out all like 5 fishes. And basically, you know, that's like half your total fish, so it basically makes you start over in most instances. So you just need to make sure that you don't flame a red one, because he'll just barf it right back out. It's kind of just like a trigger happy tester, I guess. It's not that hard if you pay attention, because you can. It's pretty lenient on how far past the fish can go by, and you can still flame them to get him in his mouth. But this is another mini game that speedrunners hate. Dang it, that was too late, because the way the fish come up is completely random.
Okay, Spyro, just...
Alright, one more puzzle. This next puzzle is probably the trickiest one. Well, it just depends on how you think about things. Like, as a kid, I'm pretty sure I just figured it out by jumping on random platforms, but when I was older, I was like, oh, that's how you do it, but I don't know. Everyone thinks about things differently, so maybe it'll be a little trickier for you. For me, this puzzle wasn't that tricky, and that is this puzzle.
If you jump on these stones...
So the trick here is each one of these blocks has something in common with another one. And so you want to try to find the one that has something in the common in the next sequence. So for example, this one was blue and it had a star. So I tried this one because it was blue, because they're both blue. Now this one is blue, a triangle, and has a circle. So the only other one that is similar to that is this one, because it's a triangle. Now the only other one that's similar to that is this one, because it's a star. The only other one that's similar to that one is the orange, because it is orange. And then the only one that's similar to that is this one, because it's an octagon. And so that's how that puzzle works. It's not too hard, like I said, if you just random it, but it helps to know the trick. And so that's the final orb in this level. So now, sadly, we have to run all the way back to the end, because that's where the last gems are. I hope. I could always have missed a gem somewhere, but I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think there's any gems out here, so I think they're all just at the end of the level. So I will run back there really quick. Thankfully, these levels aren't too long, so if you didn't care about gems or orbs, you can actually beat this game pretty quickly. Well, you can get to the final boss quickly, but the final boss you need like... How many gems are in this game? There are... I think there's like 80 gems, and you need like half at least, I think, to beat the final boss. And then once you beat the final boss, there's kind of like a bonus stage. It's really easy and it's more fun than anything, but the bonus stage, you need even more gems. It's probably more like 75 to 80% of all the gems and all the orbs. It's not that hard to get at all. But then once you get that, then once you get 100%, you get a special bonus, which I can't remember if I've spoiled already, but I don't think I will spoil it. So you'll just have to see what the 100% bonus is at the very end. So that level took us about 20 minutes, so I think I will end it off here, and we will go, next episode we will go into the castle and we will do levels inside the castle. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, and if you're new, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to have a good day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I think I already said that. Goodbye.